side of a bowl and just rocking back and forth, back and forth. That's what your brain does on a hard collision and hit to the head. It's just boom. That's your brain. That's your brain. And that's what football players deal with constantly. There's a headache in football that it needs to be addressed. We have to find a safer protocol to save these athletes and prolong their life and to have a great life after football. We have seen examples like Antonio Brown, Aaron Hernandez, and just countless others that have had head trauma just from the contact in football. So I'm here to motivate everyone to push the NFL and sports to investigate and have safer protocols for head trauma. Yeah, from Mayo Clinic, a report on mayoclinic.org, it states that football players may take up to 50 head hits in a game that are up to 40 G's of gravity, which is of pressure, which is insane, which is pretty close to like a small car accident. Antonio Brown, he was hitting a game against the Bengals, knocked unconscious, and it is believed from teammates that he was completely different after the hit. And Antonio became a problem in the organization, had issues in the office, issues on the football field, but nobody really, they just thought it was a different Antonio. But Antonio, he was changed. He exited his last football game by walking out in the middle of the game, taking off his shirt, waving it, and just leaving. He just left. That was his last game of football. And it is believed to come from CTE. Players run into stuff like this often, literally. They are constantly taking blows to the noggin. This wear and tear on players, it's affecting their mental ability and also their physical ability. But one thing with athletes, they don't know. Like an athlete doesn't know when they have CTE or head trauma. It's just what they do. But in a recent study, it shows that 99% of football players have some form or symptom of CTE. And that's not okay. It's not okay. It's in playing a game we love. Another example of this is Aaron Hernandez, who ended up taking his life. But Aaron had been in many physical football games, and it is believed that he had CTE. So there is a headache in football that needs to be addressed. There was also another study done that 110 out of 111 football players, that deceased football players, had some form of brain injury or CTE after they were dead. It was just studies done. So what should we do? I believe the NFL should have safer protocols. I believe we should dig deeper and make the players first. So when the NFL, when they decide to do something about this, it's going to change the game of sports. It's going to change every sport. Football is not the only sport that has head trauma, but it is the biggest. Just a couple weeks ago, we saw Tua Tagovailoa go down with one of the worst head trauma cases we've ever seen, and be right back into play to go down with the same injury a week later. Something has to be done. These guys are more than a show. They are people with families, children, and they need to be protected.